Alright, so we are in a Waymo going home, not to the beach. This is a rare nighttime Waymo ride, coming back from a show. It was a great show at the DNA Lounge. Local band Octavian Winters, who I get to see in Germany next month, assuming the planes are still flying and stuff. That would be cool. And also the band Pink Turns Blue, which is kind of a classic gothy-ish band. Oh man, I might be stuck for the first time. This Waymo is behind us blinky light car, but I think we're gonna make it around it. Let's see. We're gonna make it, yeah. Alright, that was a close one. I almost got stuck. But anyway, it was at a little venue called the DNA Lounge. Did I already say that? It's just that venue, I sort of like that it's small. It's nice to see good bands in a small venue, but as far as sound goes, that venue sound is not great. So the sound quality is a bit weak at the DNA Lounge, but it's nice to see bands in a small venue. Anyway, it's just weird, a little bit weird. Look at that, it's Waymos all around. It's just a little weird, you know, coming full circle, because when I first moved to San Francisco in 1991, I couldn't go to a lot of shows at DNA Lounge. A lot of good bands were playing there, and I couldn't go because they were mostly 21 and older shows. And I was 18 and 19 back then. So now it's, you know, it's just funny to go there now and be 53 and they don't even, you know, they don't even look at my ID. They just look at my shiny bald head and my little gray hairs where I do have some hairs, and, you know, give me a little wristband. So there's that. But I do really love this city. I just love it. I love the beaches. I love the beach in the morning time, as you know. I love to be able to see good bands at night, even though it's way past my bedtime. I mean, I even left before the headliner finished, because I'm like, I gotta get home and go to sleep so I can be perky for the beach in the morning. But I love that home is like, you know, it's like a 6-minute ride away. It's not even very far, and it's, you know, it doesn't cost very much to get home. It's just a great city. I just love this. I love this city, and I'm just trying to savor it for as long as I can. Enjoy all the things, as long as all the things exist, because not everything, I mean, nothing lasts forever, of course, you know. Things disappear because everything has a lifespan. Humans have lifespans, but all things, everything has a lifespan. And I'm aware of it. So I'm savoring it. And whatever you have in your life, if there's a place you like to go, a place in your town you enjoy but you haven't been there in a while because you're tired or you think you don't have time or whatever, man, if something that you enjoy exists still, then it's worth getting up and enjoying the thing, supporting the thing, because these things do not last forever. There's this little, like, the greatest, sweetest little bed and breakfast in San Francisco that has existed for a long time. I used to refer people to go there all the time. It was called the Inn SF, and I don't know if it will still exist, but I don't know. I don't think so. It just got sold a couple months ago, but it'll never exist in the way that it did, because the proprietor, the owner, and his wife, I guess they were both owners, or I don't know if she was the legal owner. Anyway, just such sweet, dedicated people. And the proprietor, he just was like so deep in the history and knew everything about the building and the family that owned the building in the beginning, who built it, and they just, such like attention to detail. They were all about that. They had like a really great breakfast spread, and they just, what a special place. But the lady, they both got old. All of a sudden, one of them got like rapid, intense dementia, and pandemonium ensued. And I think she had to get pulled into conservatorship or something, and then the hotel just went into bankruptcy and had to get sold really fast, and now it's closed. And just like that, like so fast, in the blink of an eye, and then it's gone. So things like that, like hotels and things like that, you just don't think of it like that it's going to be gone one day. Sometimes you're just like, oh, what a sweet owner, and you halfway expect them to be there forever, and they're not going to be there forever. Nobody's going to be there forever. So I'm not saying to freak out or anything. I'm just saying, if there's something you love, just don't be putting it off for later when you have more time or money or something, because you just don't know, man. And things change. You change, your body changes, everything changes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's just the way it is. I do believe that if you want, you can come back and have another life. You can have another go at it. But even with having another go at it, it's not going to be as you, this configuration. So this configuration of you, the way you think, the way you feel, and all that, it is unique. So, a different version of you is not gonna appreciate it in the same way. It's not gonna land the same way. So anyway, we're almost home. I told you it was a short trip. It's not even a 10-minute ride. So anyway, yep, that was just my quick appreciation for San Francisco. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of the show. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just jump straight to tomorrow's beach walk. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned. Well, no exciting sunrise this morning because it's pretty cloudy. But we're headed out to Crissy Field Beach anyway, and if we are very lucky, we might see a whale, because this week there's been gray whale sightings off of this beach area, but they never seem to come around when I'm here. I'm not super lucky with the whale sightings. I've seen a few. I saw just one really good one once in my whole life here, from like Sutro Baths around there. I saw one, like a humpback flipper. I have a little video of that from a few years back, but I have not seen a live gray whale in the bay. But anyway, cloudy or foggy or whatever, we're still gonna have a nice walk, because that is the way it is in San Francisco.
keys or wallet.
There's a couple of herons out there in the field. Can you see? Probably can't see very well. Yeah. Oh, there's like 3 of them. Not sure what they're eating. Probably they're hunting for little voles and stuff like that. Maybe little mice, but I'm pretty sure it's something like a little vole. There's the extroverts. Alright, here we go.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting.
Yeah, I forgot to check the tides before I left the house today, so I don't know where we are tide-wise. Kind of doesn't matter at this beach because there's never, ever any big waves or scary waves here. It's a very sheltered beach, so the waves are always tiny, so it doesn't actually matter. But based on the sand pattern, it looks like it's like a medium tide right now. Maybe on the high-ish end. But anyway, so I figure we'll just look around. There's Alcatraz over there. Downtown. You can't see the top of the tallest buildings. There's Angel Island, which is where they drag when there is like a big dead whale here. They drag it over there to Angel Island, so that it's out of the public view, and also I think easier for scientists to examine them and stuff. It wasn't a whale, but over in that direction I did see a sea lion. head over the water. Sea lions are super active out here. If you just stand here long enough, for sure you will see a sea lion. I mean, I guess if you stood here all day, you'd probably also catch a glimpse of one of the little porpoises. Maybe a dolphin, probably the little porpoises, but absolutely for sure if you hung out here, you don't even have to be here all day, just, I don't know, an hour or less, you're gonna see little sea lion heads popping up. Yep, there was another one. I don't know if you caught it, but yep, there it is, right in the middle. It's not as exciting as it sounds because, you know, it's just like a little black roundish shape comes up from the water for just a second. It's not like we have a cool camera like on National Geographic or whatever, and there's it's like a little line of pelicans coming through. If we get on that pier, we'll get a closer view of them. So that's where we're gonna walk. When we go to that pier, there's probably people fishing off of them. There's always people. In this neighborhood, there's a lot of jogging people, a lot of runners. A lot of runners running in little groups. Extroverts. Nothing against extroverts, just a little friendly, I don't know, not even rivalry, just friendly disdain or something. I feel like extroverts give introverts a lot of shit, so they can dish it, but they can't take it. I'm not sure what those birds are. Maybe egrets. I don't know. But yeah, let's head to the pier and continue our search for the elusive whale. used to think fishing sounded like the most boring effing thing to do. And like, how is it fun for these people? But I guess the more time I spend by the water, I realize that fishing is probably pretty contemplative activity. You know, all that time they spend not actively catching fish, that's probably some good meditating or mindfulness or whatever. It's just peaceful time, so it's not always about the action, I guess. Still, not something I would be interested in taking up, because I don't particularly like eating fish, and I also don't particularly care for bothering fish, so yeah. I like good sushi, but I don't think there's any good sushi to be had out of this water right here. Well, no sign of any whales. Of course, we've only been here for a few minutes. My scheme for just like standing in place and leaving the camera on for, you know, YouTube watch hours, that's not working. So I'm gonna keep on my journey like I normally would. I'm not sure how much longer I would have stood here if I didn't have my camera on. Ooh, did you see that? There's our little sea lion friend again, right in the middle. Yep, right there. But yeah, let's head over to the bridge and just keep on walking. These aluminum rails here are new. People hate them. But also, people are dumbasses, so that's probably why they had to put them in. Sometimes you see old pieces of buildings and stuff in these breakers. And a lot of that is from 1906 earthquake rubble. Sometimes you see pieces of old gravestones, but I haven't seen them out here. You can see them, some of them at like near Buena Vista Park. So. So right now the water is super calm and it's April 9th, but if it was like January 9th, you would not really want to be standing at this spot, especially right there, especially this close to the rail, because in the winter time these waves can get pretty big and you can get splashed if you're not careful. I've been a little bit splashed a lot of times, but once I wasn't paying super close attention, and I got like shower splash. It felt like I was in a shower, and I wasn't even mad because it was just so kind of funny and epic, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't mad, but I wouldn't really want to repeat it, so I'm very mindful when I'm walking in this stretch right before the bridge, because yeah, tourists are often splashed, especially in the winter time, because they don't know, but now you know. So there. Yeah, it doesn't happen as bad in the summer and everything else, but yeah, winter waves are no joke. So remember that too if you're ever in California, especially Northern California, going for a walk on any beach facing, you know, like beach, not a protected beach like the one we were just on, but like ocean beach. Like, winter waves are no joke, and never turn your back on the ocean. Okay, carrying on. Sorry about that. I was just checking my watch. It's 7:53 a.m. It's pretty late, and I'm surprised that there's like no cars in the parking lot. I guess because it's foggy and not that scenic. If it was sunny and bright, maybe people would be out taking pictures. It'll be crowded later, but yeah, it's nice and introvert friendly. Right now it's mostly just a couple of stray fisher guys, and then of course the jogging people who run all the way to the fence there, and then they usually touch the hands that are on the fence. So I'll show you the hands that they touch, and then they turn around and they run back. And there's some little paws at the bottom. Sometimes they make their dog touch the paws. That's the bathrooms. And that's Fort Point. Fort Point is definitely worth visiting. In the summer, we see Fort Point from the other side. But right now, it's the water is too high, so we can't get to it. somebody's cheered for their dog touching the little paws. So there's the paws. And there's the hands, Hopper's hands. And this is new. Somebody cut a hole in this fence recently, I guess to take better pictures. So let's get a better picture. I guess to take better pictures, or maybe to sneak in, so maybe that's why this sign looks newish. Okay, and now I'm gonna pause because I need to take some regular pictures. Well, we saw no whales today, but we saw sea lions and pelicans and herons and cormorants and seagulls and I think egrets and some humans. I wish I had magic vision to see to the bottom of the bay here, or the gate, because it's super, super shockingly deep, and it must be really amazing to get to behold. Maybe when I'm a ghost one day to see it. I forgot what those little birds are called, but those are not cormorants. Some other black seabird. I forgot. Here comes a lone pelican. could watch pelicans all day. Two sea lions swimming over there. That was pretty exciting, but now I have to put down the phone to look at the buses and figure out where we are going next. Alright, so you can kind of tell that the sun is gonna come out today. Fog is kind of burning off. You see the little rock crabs? There's one right there, but it's holding very still. Anyway, now it is starting to get a little crowded. I mean, it's still not crowded, but you know what I mean. Did I already tell you that these are edible? Yes, they are. Also, these are edible, the yellow flower plants. And all thistles are edible. Of course, you want to clip the little thistly part. These are edible. Those are edible too. It's cruciferous. And of course, there's a bunch of blackberry bramble. So, you know, in the apocalypse, we'll still have some wild greens to nibble on in California, at least in San Francisco. Alright, and now we wait for the bus. And right by the bus stop is this sample piece of cable. So here's like what a piece of Golden Gate Bridge cable looks like, right? But it's actually like thousands of little cables. Yeah, isn't that wild? Okay, well, I have to get my bus pass now, but thank you for joining me on this very kind of pretty foggy walk. We didn't see any whales. Oh, here comes my bus. I gotta get my pass out. Okay, see you next time.